Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 18, 2022, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the Dow Jones makes a classic reversal after selling off pre-market over 300 points, making it all back during the day. Now, there's no major economic event scheduled for today, but looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the euro stalling at the 200-day moving average. Going to take a look at that, and looking at the NASDAQ, making a bounce and coming back. Looking at commodities, gold steady and a slight gain actually, while oil breaks lower below $85 a barrel. Now looking at the stocks, it was the tech stocks that led us higher yesterday. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged, which is a good sign, seeing how all this negative stuff is coming out with FTX. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go, taking a look at that Euro USD. That's what I'm taking a look at right there. 200-day moving average. We broke this downwards momentum right here, 10050, breaking that higher. Now it's stalling right there. So it's finding itself, and mind you, this is a previous support, subsequent resistance. So this is very interesting where we're getting to, because this may be a level that we may find ourselves correcting on the downside. Now hear me out here, because there's a couple of things looking at this. If we look at the Dow Jones, remember it's an inverse relationship. The Dow Jones is doing the opposite on the upside. Now looking at the GBP USD also right there, as it's just unchanged for the week so much. Looking at the Australian dollar also just challenging it day to day, hitting that 67.44, but remember, this was the first one to sell off. We mentioned that yesterday, but it's bouncing here off the 8-day moving average. So maybe it's just consolidating here for a couple of days. Let's see what happens moving forward. Now, looking at commodities, let's take a look at gold. Gold here just gaining after hitting that 8-day moving average to 1764. Not a big deal, but it's steady. Okay, that's my point, is that if it's going to go, it may still have some room on the upside if it's going to sustain itself at these levels. Looking at crude oil, though, we broke $85, which was a really important level. 84.70 was that support level, and now we're hitting that lower support level at 82. Not the end of the world, just where we're at. Okay, it's a choppy market when it comes to oil recently, so it hasn't been trending. But if you've been playing just the breakouts or maybe just the support and resistance levels, you can make a little bit of money. Okay, it's not the biggest play, but it's there. Okay, where is the biggest play? Right here. When we look at the U.S. markets, I'm going to first go to the Dow Jones. There we go. Yesterday, we are having a horrible time. If you look at this week's trading, in a long-term trading, you're going to see it. You're going to see that consolidation. We haven't been in something like this in such a long time, okay, where we've been just trading in such an area. Usually we're bouncing on, off, down, up. You know, we're not usually consolidating. Last time we were here, it was just about right there where we consolidated. We had a fake out to the upside and then a breakdown, okay, which happens, okay? But consolidating like this, you have 3 doji candles, another doji candle, and another doji candle. And now we're just looking like we're flirting with the lower range. However, this does need to be seen. If it's going to break, it needs to break that 33,100 to really solidify if it's going to go and make a correction. Now, there was some news that came out. One of the Federal Reserve agents from another Federal Reserve said that there will probably be another hike in interest rates, which means that inflation is really not in check, even though we had the CPI number, which caused this rally, okay, right there, which was 1,000 points. Okay, that is still yet to be resolved as we're looking moving forward here. Okay, so just keep this in mind going into the latter part. Next week is Thanksgiving weekend, okay, which we're not going to be trading on Thursday next weekend. And then Friday is normally a Black Friday where markets go up, generally speaking, historically speaking. And then between Thanksgiving and New Year's, we generally rally into the end of the year. So if this does disappoint us, especially if we're getting some news from the FOMC meeting minutes next Wednesday, that they may have to still that the option is still up there on the table to increase interest rates. This may cool off, and we may see some pressure on the downside. Now, looking at the NASDAQ also gained yesterday, but again, it's getting to its resistance, but not breaking higher, okay, which is a little bit disconcerting because when I looked at some of the stocks yesterday, if I look at Apple, gained a lot yesterday, okay? That's not a fair chart, but if you look at a daily, you could see it came right back, okay? It hit that level, but it came right back. Looking at Facebook, also, actual gain on the day, okay? As it hit that 8-day, 30-day moving average right between the two and just trading right between the two. Looking at Microsoft, it's right there. Didn't change much yesterday, didn't go down, but didn't go further up either. But Microsoft sometimes stalls like that. But looking at Cisco gained nicely yesterday after it came out with its report. So it's a big gap up. Let's see what happens today. You need to see some follow through. Otherwise, these things are going to go further down. That's something to keep an eye on. Looking at JP Morgan, we are making a doji candle, excuse me. As you're seeing this break that 8-day moving average, but nonetheless, it's still alive. So a lot is going to pertain to today going into next week as to which direction the market's going to go in the U.S. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, should I say it's over? No, I'm not going to say it's over because, there was a lot of time where we kind of consolidated here for a long time and then we sold off from 22,000 down to 16,000. Can we still go down? Yes. Is it news related? Yes. It is choppy? Yes. It's much harder to make money in cryptocurrencies than to trade something like the U.S. markets right now. So just keep that in mind as the market is kind of absorbing the magnitude of this FTX news that has come out. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day.